Hello and welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by your usual hosts here, Ben Porter.
2021.
Charlotte Porter.
2021.
Yeah, there we go. Air horns.
Yeah. Eat shit 2020. Year of the double crit, my arse.
Yeah.
You did a double fail.
Yeah, exactly.
I think 2020 rolled a crit on us.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
Wait, are we bad guys?
No, like if the year was the GM,
Oh, okay.
and it's rolled the double crit against us. Yeah,
I see.
Yeah. So we've got Ben. We've got Charlotte as well.
No.
Charlotte Porter. Yeah, there we are. And myself, Josh Hartley. How are we all doing, guys?
We're all right.
it doesn't make for great podcast listening, but I've actually got my Fire Slayer mug.
I'm watching over webcam and can confirm that he has. Ben and Charlotte are aware that I'm watching over webcam. I've installed any secret cameras in Ben's studio.
I've installed a secret video feed.
I just want to know how my commission's coming on. That's all. Nothing weird. Nothing weird about that.
Lockdown's been a dark time for Josh.
We're really organised this week. We're recording this precisely a week ahead of the episode going up. So we've been up to stuff over Christmas and New Year because people give presents around that time of year. So we've received cool things, all three of us, that are gaming related as well. So we've got that to talk about. News-wise, because Games Workshop is Games Workshop now, we've always got new stuff coming out from them. And this time it's Death Guard. Really excited to get a new codex.
Well, this one got delayed, didn't it, because of COVID again?
Yeah, this should have been my birthday present, by the way, and it didn't occur to me at the time, but it has been pointed out on social media several times, the irony of a disease delaying the arrival of Death Guard.
Yeah.
But so today they've announced what's going to go up for pre-order. So by the time you are listening to this, guys, you can order all of this stuff. The only new model, and this is what we were anticipating, is the Lord of Virulence, the new character in Terminator armor with the humongous plague spewer.
So quite a bestial bug-like feel to him, I think, with the shape of his mask and all that. But I think the one surprise announcement we've had this week regarding Death Guard is a lot of the older kits are getting repackaged and sold as individual kits that were only available in like box sets before. Like I believe the triumvirate of characters from the Dark Imperium. Yeah. And then the Poxwalkers, like zombies.
Yeah. Which, while we didn't know that was happening, is not entirely a surprise. What they have also revealed is the content of the new Start Collecting boxes, the Combat Patrol. Ben, have you seen what's been included in this?
I skimmed through the article before I came on, so I didn't see exactly what was in it. But just very, very quickly with Combat Patrols, my understanding is that they are more expensive than Start Collecting, but you get a little bit more in them.
You get 500 points worth, basically.
Yeah.
Which is great, because that's...
Yeah, it's like plug and play, right? That's the idea with these boxes.
Yeah. I will say that I don't like the contents of this box, and we'll go through it, Ben, and you'll probably understand why when I say what's been included. So it includes 39 models which very high model count for one of these boxes to compare.
A high model count for Death Guard for sure.
Well, and to compare, like the Space Marines typically include like less than 20 models.
Yeah, like 17, something like that. Normally.
Yeah, that's a typical number. So what those 39 models are is Typhus, which I'm not keen on the model. In fact, I'm going to use the Forge World version of him rather than the regular one. Ben, you really don't like Typhus.
He's just too busy, isn't he? There's too much going on there.
Yeah. You get a biologist putrefier, which is a really cool model. I've already got one though.
Yeah, it's the guy with all the files on him.
Yeah. You get the basically the multi-part Plague Marine kit included, so that's 7 Plague Marines.
Okay.
And you get 30 Poxwalkers. 30 Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
Right. So, in defense of Games Workshop, that is in line with the law of what Typhus is supposed to be all about. Because his thing is Poxwalkers rather than anything that's
raising them zombies.
But so, like, my issue with it is, well, my issues are 3 things, right? 1, I'm not that keen on Poxwalkers anyway. So to get 30 of them in this, it does not excite me at all. 2, I don't like, irrespective of how I feel about the Typhus model, I don't like having a named character in these boxes. I think for me, I would rather have generic characters so that I could put their own, like my own sort of lore into it. Particularly given that these boxes are going to be an ideal starting point for playing Crusade. So if you're doing that, I think you really want to be giving your own named characters and coming up with your own background stories. And
well, I mean, we've said before that's part of the. I think that's part of the fun with Warhammer games or war games in general, is to come up with your own guys. And I know some people want to just have a little bit more of like a drag and drop approach, something that's kind of ready made, or some people do feel invested in a particular character in the fluff, like Gotrek getting a new model for Age of Sigmar has been hugely popular because I mean who doesn't like Gotrek?
Exactly. I don't have a problem with named characters at all. I just don't think they should be in like what is effectively like what one of the first things a new player is going to pick up. But my other thing is like the Poxwalker spam list. The codex isn't out, so we have no idea whether that's actually going to be viable in the new codex or not. But it even if it is like a viable list to build, it is very atypical of what Death Guard typically is, because they normally are like a very elite army, like low model count, but all of them like are very, very durable and pretty punchy in combat and shooting as well. So I don't feel like it really represents what Death Guard are all about. Not for me, anyway.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, does it maybe point in some respect to a new playstyle that's perhaps available within the new codex?
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. I have no idea whether like Poxwalker spam could be a thing. Like you rock up and like field like 80 or 100 Poxwalkers. That sounds like misery to me, but maybe that's a way of playing. I would have much preferred if they include one of like the demon engines, like one of the Blight Haulers or something along those lines, or even like some of the Terminators. Like I'd have rather they've done that and had lower models than what they've done. But
these sort of box sets are so funny, right? Because how good they are changes wildly depending on what the rule set for the army sits at a given time. Because the start collecting box set for Caradron Overlords, I think, is it's like a gun hauler, which is the smallest ship. and then you get 3 Sky Riggers, Balloon Boys,
Balloon boy.
5
Yeah.
Thunderers, and I think it's like the Engine Master, the big power hammer. And when that first came out, everyone was like, "That's garbage," but now it's like, "Oh, that's actually quite good." And it's since they've gotten the new book, like everything in that box is actually quite a viable option all of a sudden.
Even without like a change of rules, so that all sounds to me like a bit of a mix of what the Caradron Overlord lords actually do. Like you've got the vehicle, you've got some flying units, and you've got your ground units.
Yeah.
So
Well,
at least it's
30
represented.
zombies, 30-foot slaughter.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I will just be I'll just be glad to be getting a new codex. We've got a new character to pick up, so that's gravy. There's some other items coming up for pre-order as well, and I will now bring that up in front of me.
The big one that I saw is that they're re-releasing a bunch of the Lord of the Rings figures, because it is, of course, the 20th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Yeah, happy birthday, Lord of the Rings trilogy films. Yeah, I'm just going to bring them up now. And you get that dumb-looking terrain in the Death Guard, which I'm not going to pick up.
Skip that. That's garbage.
I'm not keen on it. I'm not keen on it. I'm not keen on...
Big bong-looking thing.
I'm not keen on armies having unique terrain features in general, but that's just me. I know some people. Yeah, I was going to say, I know people really like them.
Well, the thing that I was going to say is that, generally speaking, if you're wanting to reference like historical armies and armies of the real world, is that armies change the landscape around them to suit their needs. And I feel like that is something that is kind of missing from a lot of our tabletop war games.
And I think it's something that probably would be very prevalent with Nurgle.
Yeah.
As the infection is spreading.
Yeah, well, I do think you've got a lot of stuff that lets you pop up the little trees during games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They give you little buffs if you're Nurgle, and I think they are bad for you if you're near them and you're not.
I really struggle with Nurgle.
Yeah, because what is the name of that phobia?
Tryptophobia, I think is what it is. And I've only had it recently. It's actually been since the pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
I never used to bother me, but now I really struggle with foreign objects coming out of like horns and things like that. Things that humans should not have.
Yeah. Death Guard have got a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. So I really struggle with
horns. Boils, tentacles, you name it, we got it.
Yeah.
It's fine on monsters. I'm okay with it. I think it's when it's like coming out of a human.
Yeah, Plague Marines still are people.
I've even struggled with like depictions of angels because of wings.
Oh, right, wow.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But tryptophobia specifically is a phobia, a fear of patterns on skin and stuff like that. So it's the idea of like holes and things like that, and like you're saying, boils or things.
But it's quite an interesting example of how like phobias go beyond just simple fear. It's like a revulsion of it, isn't it? It's not like, oh, I'm scared, there's a fungus coming out of that guy's head. How do you feel about Toad from the Mario games now?
Again, but he's not humanoid. This is the thing.
But he is. He's got a big mushroom head, but he's a little.
He's a mushroom.
Gnome dude.
Yeah, but he's clearly a different. He's clearly a different species, though.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow.
But he is. He's he's one of the denizens of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Well, overt racism from Josh there. Different species. Read subhuman. Wow.
Anyway, the new Lord of the Rings miniatures look really cool. We've got Frodo, Sam, and Gollum. Some new minis for them. Specifically, I think these are when they are. Ben, you'll know the name. What's the mountain range that they're in at the start of the Two Towers?
Oh,
where they first confront Gollum.
That's right. We are revoking your Lord of the Rings Master Champion ticket.
I didn't know we gave him that.
He won.
I won the.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
yeah, the Mexican standoff, no less. The 3-way tie.
Nice.
It was legendary.
But you can't name the mountain range. I'm going to say the Middle Earth Andes.
Probably not, given their.
It's a bold choice. We'll see. We'll see if you're correct later.
No, I can't remember the name of that mountain range.
No. I mean, I can't. That's why I was asking. But that it specifically, these minis look like that's where they are in the film trilogy. We have March Warden of Lothlorien. Mm-hmm. We have Gildor Inglorian and Glorfindel. These are more elven heroes. We've got some of the Black Riders, the Ring Wraiths, as well. And we've got some Dead Marsh Spectres as well, which look really cool. And Barrow Whites. Try saying that several times.
Yeah.
They look really neat.
Some stuff that was like cut from the films, like the Barrow Whites there. That's cool.
Yeah. They look really cool. And this was a cold shot for you, Ben, that they were going to start doing a lot more Lord of the Rings stuff this year, given the 20th anniversary of the Fellowship.
It's a dead cert, right? Like, I think as the year wears on, we're going to start seeing more stuff. I don't think we'll necessarily see cinemas back properly open this year, but I imagine like some of the streaming platforms might make a big thing about the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, for sure. And if cinemas are able to open up, that would be awesome. But not holding my breath.
Nope.
So that's the only bit of news that I caught. So I guess Christmas.
Yes.
Christmas and New Year.
Seems like so long ago now.
Yeah, I know. I've been back at work 4 days, and it just feels like it was absolutely months ago now. So I can't remember if I mentioned it on our Secret Santa episode, but I actually wasn't able to go back to my folks as was planned due to COVID restrictions. So, but the Porters kindly had me over on Christmas Day, which was nice.
We had roast duck, and it was chef's kiss, to say so myself.
It is not the first time I've had duck. I think it's the first time I've had a roast duck like it was a Sunday dinner, though.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was very good.
Yeah.
My compliments to Chef Ben.
Yeah.
Very nice. For those of you thinking I might be lazy, well, I mean, I am, but I did do the dishes.
There was a lot of dishes.
I helped.
You told me afterwards you actually got a bit of an apprenticeship from my dad in doing dishes.
Yeah, Ben's dad, Al, was sharing his strats with me on washing dishes, so that was good. To be fair, living by myself, I never have to wash a lot of dishes all at once.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, we all got some tabletop swag, and we all played some games as well. So what did everyone get?
Well, I'll start because I actually got a really nice surprise just before Christmas, didn't I? Because Ross, the editor of Foehammer, which is another outlet that I produce content for, it's mainly like long form. Hobby and painting related articles that I do there. He sent me a little present to thank me for my work this year, which was lovely. If you're listening to this, thank you very much, Ross. It's very sweet of you. So I got Brock Grungson, who's like the named character for the Caradron Overlords, and I also got a box of Skyriggers. But then after Christmas, I also got a set of the Pro Acryl paints from Monument Hobbies, which are like one of the sort of new kids on the block as far as paint ranges go.
That's good.
So I'm.
All right. Have you had a chance to?
I've used a bit of the black, which is quite interesting. It's called coal black, and it actually dries to like a coal finish.
Oh.
It's like the most matte black I think I've ever seen. It's quite interesting. So I can.
Is it as black as black as black?
I don't know if it's black as black as black because I've not tried black as black yet.
Okay.
So I can't.
Has anyone used that? Someone must have used that on a miniature, right?
They have. I can't remember the fella's name, but he entered a boutique miniature into Green Stuff World's December painting competition, and it was the witch one that you were talking about earlier, Charlotte.
The pyramid head lassie.
Yeah,
what's she called? Witchhorn.
Yeah,
Witchhorn.
Witchhorn. Who's it by?
It's Mindworks.
Witchhorn by Mindworks. There we go. So this is like she's like a sort of scantily clad, like sexy witch lady, and she's got like a sort of cloth draped over just about covering her modesty. So it's actually quite a good figure for practicing different skin techniques and things like that, because a lot of skin areas on show. Yeah. And she's got like this weird kind of like pyramid headdress with like buffalo horns on it. And what this guy did was he painted the entirety of the pyramid using black as black. So it's just like this. It's this very defined shape, but no lights hitting it. It's pretty mad looking.
Yeah.
And he did weird, like a nightscape backdrop for the figure as well.
We'll share the link. We'll find the link.
Yeah, I'll find the link, share it, because it's a really incredible piece. But he used black as black for that. And I think it was one of these things where I think some of his patrons had asked him what it was like, and he picked this figure specifically to
showcase it.
To showcase it. So I've never tried it myself, but this guy has. I've heard like this guy said it is really good for using where you want like a really, really dark black. But I've also heard other people say that they've struggled to get it to adhere to surfaces and things. So.
Because it's a powder, isn't it?
No, you can buy it as a pigment, but they do sell it mixed. Yeah,
I was just going to say, is it hella expensive?
It's not too bad actually, but because you get quite a vast amount of it. Because if you consider like most paints are like 17mm pots.
Yeah.
So that this is sold in a quantity that more or less like you would get like an airbrush primer.
Yeah.
Because
I suppose it's aimed. It's not aimed at miniature painting.
No, it's
it's aimed at like
it's like a generic acrylic. It's not specifically formulated for miniature painting.
So it's not really coming in the miniature bottles that seem to come along with miniatures.
That being said, though, you can just buy the pigment and mix it with whatever medium you want. So you could, in theory, like tailor it for miniature painting.
Sure.
Really big.
We got really sidetracked. So but that's cool that Ross sent you those. So. And I know that your Caradron on the hobby block at some point for you this year. So we'll no doubt see those on your social medias when you've done them. Did you got some games on Christmas Day? I know that as well.
I did. I got Plot a Lot, which is by Moonstone Games, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, a little independent company. So Plot a Lot's like an agricultural game, as the name would suggest, but it's beautiful artwork. Even though it's agricultural, it's not like like the artwork you see in games like Agricola and things like that, where it's like this is a farm, albeit represented in a sort of cartoon way. Plot a Lot's very fantastical looking, like huge bean sprouts and things like that, and very, very vibrant colours. So looking forward to trying that out. But we did play the other game I got, which was. It's very, very Tolkien-esque podcast this actually because it was an unexpected party. Was the other game that I got?
No, I didn't play this.
Yeah,
so you just played it.
Yeah, we played it with my mum.
And I think I'd been for a nap or something, and I came downstairs, and yous were all singing away. What is going on? Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yes, so this is Weta Workshop have started producing board games over the last couple of years. The first one I think was GKR, or Giant Killer Robots. And, you have some really cool miniatures for that. Then they've done the District 9 Kickstarter campaign, which funded on its second run, but has obviously been pushed back a little with the pandemic. But they've also produced this game in-house, An Unexpected Party, and it's as the name would suggest, you're basically playing through the opening scenes of The Hobbit, where the dwarfs all invite themselves into Bilbo's house for a party.
Yeah. What I liked about it, see, you don't actually pick a dwarf and just play them. So you'll start with one of the dwarves, and then eventually Bilbo gets so irritated with you that the only thing you can really do is go to the dining room and sit down, and then you get to take over as a different dwarf as they arrive. So I thought that was quite neat.
I love it because I felt like it was so great that like a lot of the time if people base a game on a film or another existing IP, they anchor it in the world, but to all intents and purposes, like if you were to set it in another universe, it wouldn't radically change the way that the game is played. It's without sounding too dismissive, the IP is more or less like a coat of gloss or a coat of paint over whatever mechanics they have there. But with An Unexpected Party, you are actually playing through that scene, which is so great because like you have like Josh is saying, like the first wave of dwarfs turn up, and then as Bilbo's getting angrier, like other ones turn up, and you get to like play out the chaos of that party. And you've got Bilbo and Gandalf have this AI deck which changes the way that they behave, and that like Bilbo can shut down a room, which means that the dwarfs can't go in there. But if the dwarfs go into a room with Gandalf, you can help yourself to more stuff, which is like because Gandalf enables it all, doesn't he? So it makes sense.
We had a lot of fun playing that. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and I'll say I love the artwork for it. The artwork it is very much informed by the film as well. Like all of the characters look like the film representations of those characters.
It's done in the style of Weta have also started in recent years doing their own line of collectibles in the style of or in the along the same vein as Funkos, but they call them like mini epics, I think. But it's got a very distinct art style, and all of the art in the game is done in the style of the mini epics, which is pretty neat.
Yeah. So we played that, and one other game-related present that both of you got was my replacement for Jaws that I purchased for you. So I replaced that with the new Wingspan expansion for the oceanic birds. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's like Papua New Guinea, Australia, that sort of
Cockaboo.
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra.
Yeah.
On the cover was what I was trying to say. Sorry about that.
So we haven't had a chance to play that, but it looks as though it is like a fully fledged, pun intended, expansion, because rather than as good as Birds of Europe is, really it is just adding more cards and a couple of new powers to the game, which it does make the game a little bit more interactive. But the Oceania expansion. You've got brand new boards. There's a new food type called Nectar.
Oh,
it's got a bit of heft to it for all it's a modestly sized box. So it looks as though it's a pretty substantial expansion to the game.
Yeah, looking forward to giving that a go. Before we move on to Charlotte, did you get any other gaming related stuff, Ben?
I got it's kind of related, I guess. Charlotte got me a Chibi Cthulhu miniature to paint.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I saw the little guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, so he's not a gaming piece, but he's a really nice. Like the quality of the cast is exceptional, and he is by.
I won't say his name because I will butcher it.
Yeah, George.
Serdekadakis.
Right, you're going to try and butcher it anyway. Great.
Sorry.
But yeah, he's based out of Greece. His name, we'll call him George T. How about that?
George T.
George T.
Yeah, but we'll link to him in there because I love his stuff, and I'm hoping to paint some more of his stuff in the future.
It might not, strictly speaking, be a game for a specific gaming piece, but it could certainly be used in things, right?
Yeah,
it's got a very with it being chibi style. Was it Super Dungeon Explorer? Like you could probably use it in that as a substitute for something, you know. So
that's true. Yeah, you could.
So yeah. So Charlotte, you didn't receive any other gaming presents other than mine.
Yes,
but we did play some games.
Yes, we did play some games. So, like I said, I didn't get to play an unexpected. What was unexpected?
An unexpected party.
Party. I was going to say Journey, and that's the name of the film. It's not the name of the game. Unexpected Party.
Yeah.
But, we did play some games with Ben's sister and his mum. So games that Josh and I had played before, but they hadn't played. So turned out Bethany had never played Scrabble before, and for those
I can't believe that.
For long-time listeners, you will know that Josh's family have a championship Scrabble game at Christmas that they couldn't take part in, so we decided to have one for Josh here,
which was actually that was really kind of you. I was like, oh, I'm missing this. Thank you.
Didn't have because Josh actually has a very small trophy for the what's it called again?
The Verge Smite.
Verge Smite. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've agreed to compete for the Verge Smite at a later point when we can. Oscar's delighted because he gets to hold on to it for a little bit longer.
I mean, like strictly speaking, like you did lose this game that was played on Christmas Day. So I think that means that you don't qualify for the Verge Smite.
It's me. I'll go in your place.
You didn't make enough points, Josh. You're getting relegated.
Yeah, well, this is definitely the worst thing that's happened out of 2020.
The sad thing was that you weren't actually in the lead, but you got lumped with a Q, didn't you?
It was one of the last tiles I drew. I was so annoyed, and so if people haven't played Scrabble, you lose points for each tile that's in your hand, and you lose points equal to what they're worth. So I lost a humongous number of points because I couldn't play that damn Q anywhere, and Charlotte gained them all. So Charlotte beat me.
I think you were maybe
It was well played. Well
I think
preserved.
You were 2 points ahead of me or something. You know, it was quite close, but you were in front of me until that point. Mm-hmm. But no, it was good fun, and Bethany enjoyed it as well.
It's that thing again where it's you sort of acknowledge that chance is a factor in this kind of thing, but you can't just go, it's just luck that you won, because it's so sour grapes when folk do that.
Well, I mean, fact of the matter is, if I recall, you played the highest scoring word that game as well. That kind of makes sense.
I'm willing to monopolise off of Josh's bad luck. It's fine by me.
Well, I mean, that's part of the skill of playing these games, isn't it? Is punishing people for bad luck. So,
no, I wouldn't do that to you, Josh.
Well, you did. You did.
So after we played Scrabble, we played a game of Dixit because Ben's mum and Bethany hadn't played it, and we thought something that is quite different and a bit more abstract from Scrabble. So it was good. It took us a couple of turns to get into it because I think for people that haven't played a game like Dixit before, it can be quite unusual.
It's very French.
It's very French. It's very good. I like it. But yeah, they really got into it. They really enjoyed it. I won that one again.
Yeah. Dixit is never a game that I'm like annoyed if someone suggests playing it. It's like, sure, yeah, let's give that a go. The only thing I will say is like just the base game. Like if you play it all the time, gets a bit because obviously it's the same number of cards, but there's like a ton of expansions for it.
Because I think you've got a different Dixit to the one that we've got. I can see in the background. You've got a Dixit there.
I think so, yeah.
And then there's Dixit Odyssey as well.
Yeah, there's been a few iterations, yeah.
I know we had fun doing a bit of festive gaming, and yeah, we need to pick up some of the games that we haven't and expansions that we haven't had a chance to try. I did get other gaming related stuff. Here's the thing, right? With my Christmas Day, so I was organised this year. And I had everything that I was buying for my family delivered to my mum and dad's house. Because why get them delivered here when I'm just going to need to cart them down? So when everything got announced and it turns out that I couldn't see them, it was good because, you know, people could still get their presents from me. However, all the presents for me were at my mum and dad's. So what they did was we had like a big video call on Christmas morning. So they unwrapped, bless them, they actually wrapped presents for me knowing that I wasn't going to be there, and then unwrapped them for me on camera. So I got to see all of the things that they got me. So gaming wise, my brother got me a copy of Root.
Ooh, yes.
Talked about Root tons on the podcast. We love it. I'm interested to see how, and one of the reasons why I wanted my own copy of it was I wanted to see how my family would take to it. Because it is despite how it looks, it is quite a meaty game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for sure.
I think my brother in particular would quite like it. I don't know how everyone else in my family will feel about it. So I'm looking forward to giving that a try.
So it's a very steep learning curve, isn't it? Because like people talk about things having different rules, but every faction in Root is completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a feeling like I'm probably best playing as the Eerie Dynasty as well for the first few games against those guys, because that faction is really difficult to get your head around when you first pick it up. So I got that. Chloe, my sister, got me the Investigator's book for Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, very good.
Yes, so I've been playing in a campaign ran by our very own Tom Mannering. And I think I've said on the podcast previously, I might have a dabble with GMing, and if I do, it's probably going to be Call of Cthulhu that I give it a go. So I feel a bit more confident in my understanding of the rules for that, as opposed to the likes of Dungeons and Dragons or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was great. My present from my mum and dad, and this worked out as they got me a digital copy of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which isn't a tabletop game. But yeah, because it was digital, I can actually play it. Although I haven't yet, because Ben and Charlotte got me Mario Odyssey, and I've just been playing that absolutely tons. So I will get around to Breath of the Wild though once I'm done with Odyssey.
Breath of the Wild's very good.
Yeah, I love Zelda, but I love Mario more, which is why I started with Mario. I also thought Mario might be a shorter game, but apparently there are over 800 moons to collect in Mario. and I'm on like 200 odd. So if I want to 100% it, God, I'm going to be working a while. But yeah, that pretty much wraps us up for what we did and received over Christmas. Yeah. What else? We've got something else to talk. Have we got something else to talk about, or are we wrapping this up?
I think that's us. That's
Game of the year stuff.
Charles, that'll do you. That'll do you.
Yeah.
We just mentioned Game of the Year again, or what are we actually doing Game of the Year?
We haven't really actually thought much more about it.
Yeah, maybe we should just sit on it now.
Well, no, it's like we've probably got till end of the month, right? That's when we said. So we've got a few games to try out. We did get sent a copy of Uranus by the Dark Imp
that we're going to do an unboxing of.
Yes, the little unboxing of that.
Hey,
we will get a couple of games of that and tell you all about that because they've got a Kickstarter coming the first quarter of this year, I believe, for that game. So
okay, cool. And yeah, we've got another. I think we're like the one that I really want to try is 1565. Really want to get that to the table. So
yeah,
and play more of an Unexpected Party as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep you guys posted. We'll let you know what's what. So and I think on that note, that's all we've got time for. So, thanks for listening, guys. And until next time, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let's do a little queen wave there. You can't see it, guys.
Yeah.
But
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
The jam jar.
Audio descriptive. Ben waves his hand in little circles with his palm elevated, held flat.
It's great content. Great content. Thank you.